Hello class, my name is Lauren Porterfield and I'm going to be discussing Arizona's language development approach. In the state of Arizona, ELL, or English language learners, are determined eligible for ELL services if they are found in need of extra support through screening. As defined in the Arizona Auditor General, an ELL student are those whose native language is not English and who have difficulty reading, writing, or understanding the English language. These students might need additional support or interventions in place to help set them up for success in the classroom. Some of the common terminology used for intervention for these students are ESL, bilingual, sheltered English instruction, and structured English immersion. Many of these interventions are terms used at any school. To begin, ESL students, or English as Second Language, are students who speak more than one language, where students who learn second language to their native language. Bilingual means a student fluently speaks two languages. Sheltered English instruction means that a student is being pulled for English instruction and intervention. And structured English immersion means that a student is in the general education classroom and they are learning English through observing and hearing their classmates. Arizona's language development approach plays the groundwork for educators to teach English learners and to support their success through over 80,000 students who attend Arizona public schools. It is broken down into multiple sets of inner and outer circles, all of whom are being supported with screenings on their expectations and success, targeted English instruction, integrated instruction to the general education classrooms, all while showing that educators are responsible and at the heart of it all. Student agency surrounds the entire circle, and this is crucial because student agency means that the student has a say in their learning and are being responsible for their own growth so long as they put the effort forward. It is motivating for students because it is taught through fun activities and is student-led and incorporates their interests so that they can benefit from the curriculum they are learning. It allows for students to set their own goals. Moving on, the first principle in the Arizona language development approach is asset-based behaviors and instructions. In a nutshell, Principle 1 means that educators are being held accountable and responsible for incorporating the students' cultural backgrounds into their interventions, as well as being empathetic and supportive of a student's individual strengths and weaknesses. This principle builds a strong foundation and relationship between students, their family, and the teacher. Principle 2 is integrated instruction and disciplined language in content, which means that the educators are responsible for building curriculum in which it satisfies language proficiency standards given by the state, as well as differentiates their instruction to fit their needs. Educators should be trying to immerse students in English-driven environments in the classrooms, as well as support their students' learning through academics they are being taught in reading and writing the English language. In Principle 3, it is targeted explicit language instruction, which means that the student is given opportunities and resources so that they can engage with their peers in the class in an age-appropriate way while being taught grade-level content. This can be done by creating opportunities for students to build on their language skills through reading, writing, speaking, or engaging in conversation. Finally, Principle 4 is assessment, monitoring, and feedback, which means that schools are responsible for using the English language proficiency standards, as well as assessing appropriately to measure an English learner's progress on content knowledge and comprehension. Its educators are responsible to use district summative assessments that test their language in an appropriate way, as well as track student progress to guide both the student and the teachers on next steps for instruction. Arizona has approved research-based structured English immersion models, and they are newcomer, pull-out, 2-hour, and 50-50 dual language immersion. To begin, newcomer models are designed for students who have little to no English proficiency. This is the most intense form model and requires the most intervention for students to be successful. The goals can be as simple as development on kids' social survival skills for words and necessary words and phrases to start adapting to the new culture. The next approved SCI model is pull-out model. The pull-out model is just as it sounds. meaning that ELL students are pulled out of their regular general education classrooms for differentiated instruction. Moving on, the 2-hour model means that students who are English language learners receive targeted instruction with an ELL teacher for 2 class periods or 500 minutes a week. The structure is to keep the student as much in their general education classroom to receive the English instruction while still being supported for 2 hours a day through a qualified ELL teacher. It is important to note that instruction must be taught in English with the ELL teacher. Lastly, the 50-50 dual language immersion model means that students receive instruction 50% of the time in their target language and the other 50% in English. This is to provide a way for students to still be in touch with their culture and native language, but still immersing themselves as much as they can with English. In conclusion, English immersion is important for keeping students' cultural background and dignity at the forefront of everything that ELL teachers do. And Arizona's language development approach shows exactly the models and principles needed to best support the students in their English immersion. Thank you.